Hi guys, I hope you're well. If you don't know who I am, my name is Thomas Blakemore and I'm a teacher here in Dubai. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about not necessarily three tips, but three priorities that you need to consider when you're going back to school as a new teacher, or early career teacher, as it's now known. I've made lots of different new teacher videos that I'm going to scatter above the top throughout this video. There's all sorts of different tips that I've talked about in the past, but these aren't necessarily tips, they're more, priorities. As I've been teaching now for 5 years, now in my 6th, time flies, guys. Time really flies. I was thinking the other day about some of the things that I've really developed with and things that I now do well. One of the things that is my number one priority, and one of the things I think should be your number one priority, is talking to people. When I was in my NQT year, one of the mistakes that I made is not talking to people early enough. I would keep things bottled up. I wasn't an open book, I would keep things closed. And when things got a little bit too much, then the book would open and all of these words would come out. Now, that's really challenging for mentors and leadership because it can be a bit overwhelming and not quite sure what to do. Thankfully, I did have phenomenal mentors, phenomenal leadership who really did support me with the journey of being a new teacher. However, that doesn't always happen, and as a result, communicating early is essential. I go back to this year. This year I've got a bit of a different class. It's not a class I'm used to, it's something that's going to be different, it's going to be challenging. I accept the challenge, and that's something we're going to get onto in a minute, but that has been a little bit of a worry on my mind. What I would have done in the past is just kept it to myself. Nowadays, I spoke to all of the relevant people that I need to speak to, year leader, Senko, SLT, just so that that is out there. I've received lots of different advice, and even though I have been teaching for 5 years, and there is that element of pride of not wanting to talk to people because you're experienced, I did it. I took a bit of a pride thing away from myself, and I went to go and talk to people. This is something I would not have done as a new teacher, but it really did help. It helped me feel comfortable, it also helped me feel quite prepared, because that way I've got advice and knowledge in the forefront of my head, ready to go for the week ahead, which is in a couple of days. The other thing that should be a priority as you're returning back to school is making sure that you're not scared of failure. There are going to be failures. I know myself, even though I've been teaching, like I said, for 5 years, that there are going to be times where I'm like, I've hit a wall here. This is challenging, this is tough. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen even more when you consider taking risks. That's one of the things that I really think teachers need to do more and more, is take risks in their own practice. It's easy to become comfortable, stick to the plan, stick to things that are easy. Take those risks and don't be afraid of failure, because those things, those failures really help shape you as a teacher and help you get better. The last priority, as this is quite a quick video, that I need you to consider is never stop learning. I know I have shared this as a tip in another video, but never stop learning. You don't have to always pick up books about teaching. In fact, I really struggle with picking up books about teaching because I create these videos, because I share lots of tips within these videos. I spend a large amount of time at school. The last thing often that I want to do is pick up a book and read about teaching in school. That's not to say I don't, but it's not my favorite thing to do by any means. Now, one of the things you can do to support yourself and continue learning is, again, go back to talking to people. Go back to observing people. Even though you're not a trainee teacher anymore, you have that extra time. Go and see people teach, learn new practices, learn new little tricks and things like that that will make you a better teacher, that you will find helpful. All of those things will support you becoming a teacher. One of the other things that is really beneficial in this never stop learning is reading books that aren't to do with teaching. I love reading non-fiction books at the moment. One of the books that I love reading is Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. It's about an FBI negotiator, which is easy to say, like, oh, well, that's not going to be helpful at all, but it really is. It really is useful, because you never know when there's going to be a challenging situation in class. And it's easy to, the reason why I'm telling you this, it's easy to pick up books that are non-fiction and adapt it to the school setting. So you don't have to just read books that are about school. You can also read books that aren't about school, but relate them to the education setting. One of the other things you can do is watch my YouTube videos and other people's YouTube videos, because there's all sorts of different free advice out there for teachers. So 3 priorities. I'm hoping that that's useful to someone out there. The whole purpose of these videos is just to help one person. If one tip within this video has helped one person out there, that's my job done. Thank you very much. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this, as I've said, I've scattered a few throughout this, and there's also some in the description too. Hopefully I will see you in the next one. Enjoy going back to school. You've got this. Smash it. And yeah, I'm out.